Assalamualaikum and good evening. Today I'm going to talk about the process of field grading process, PST 104. SMR, Standard National Rubber. It is a raw material that obtained from heavier bacillus produce latex to make a natural rubber. There are many types of SMR such as SMR 5, 10, 20 and GP. There are many processes to get the latex to make natural rubber. First, tapping process. Second, latex collection. Third, collection station. And the last, tanks. Tapping process is a tapping from the bark to get the latex. We use the tapping tools such as blade knife, a latex collecting cup and a spoon, and also a cup holder. Mark the dry edge strip along the top of the zinc with the chalk. From the border, it is marked along the front edge of the front. Use a rope to measure the circumference of the shaft, starting from the bottom of the turret. Fold the rope into two halves to obtain half turn of the shaft. The right end rope located on the bottom of the lower truck rail, and the left was located on the back border of the panel. Then, the shallow thread of the half-circular groove and the border marked with a chalk. Tapping should be careful to avoid injury to the wood. It is advisable to make a shallow tap several times to obtain a suitable tap base. When the latex begins to flow into the collector cups, the tappers must pour some ammonia to stabilize the latex and maintain its shapes. The ammonia function is important to make the latex don't coagulate. Field latex spontaneously coagulate within 4 to 24 hours after tapping, but some of the latex are left coagulate because not all production will produce using the latex in liquid. After finishing the tapping process, the tapper will use an aluminium bucket. Then he will round again to collect the latex from the collector cup and pour into the bucket. After the collection process done, the tapper will go to the collection station to sell the proceed to the consumer. At the collection station, the tapper measure the latex positive or anticoagulant. This process is important to maintain the state of the latex while waiting for the collector to arrive. When the collector arrives, he will put the latex into the tank. He will measure again the positive and will add the positive enough to keep the latex in liquid form until it reaches to the factory. The idea of positive measure are to reduce development of acid either by suppressing the growth of bacteria. Second, chelate metal ions released by bee serums. Current developments. R&D infrastructure are developing under RRIM and the LGM system over the last over 75 years. They are trying to make a new rubber that can be less cost, more efficient and lower cost budget. Environment. They are trying to reduce the greenhouse gas such as carbon dioxide from the combustion of the fossil fuel and they are trying to use a renewable resource where the rubber wood can be extracted and shorten cycle without endangering the environment. Field grade collection and reception. Field grade rubbers are those that have autocoagulate in the field. There are 4 groups such as kaplam, tree lace, bark shrub, and ground scrub. Kaplam, the rubber derived from the cup after dripping of the latex left in the cup following latex collection. Tree lace, it is a thin stripe of the rubber derived from the last drop of the latex following from the taping cut and down groove from the spot. It is contained with iron and magnesium ions absorbed from the bark of the tree, often contains bark chipping. Bark strap, it is the thin film of rubber derived from the latex that has overflowed of the cut due to poor taping practice or rain interface. The former includes too large or too small a taping cut angle, influence the depth of the cut, or bulk knife. Ground scrub is a rubber derived from the latex that has overflowed of the cup due to bad taping practices, inefficient field management, and rain interface. Ground scrub is contained with leaf, earths, and twigs, and is rarely encountered. This is the general processing of SMR. There are many stages to make the bales. Pre-cleaning, it is clean dirty raw materials and bring little size reduction or cutting. The machine we are using is pre-breaker. The function of the pre-breaker is clean the fresh acetic cup lump may be processed by passing once more dirty small holders materials and requires up to 20 passes. Creeping. The crops was put into the creepers. The material creep into a blanket of creeper. The dirt removal. The materials through the pass 10 to 20 passes of series of creepers. The top diamond creeper placed before the final one, arranged in either line ahead or side by side. Final size reduction. The blanket was shredded into crumb size. Shredded crumbs which has accumulated in the tank tend to agglomerate themselves and resulting in wet centered problem in the dry rubber biscuits. It is highly recommended that castor oil be used. Drying. The smaller crumb put into the dryer for drying process. A trolley takes approximately 3 to 4 hours to move from the wet end to the dry end. The temperature of the dryer is about 110 Celsius to 125 degrees of Celsius. The loading depth about 9 inches. In the trolley, the crumbs that were rubbed smooth by hand to avoid of non-effacing drying product of ogling crumbs. Baling. Weight 33 kg per bale. Baling of rubber crumbs are normally done by using screw or hydraulic press. Pressing of the rubber should be carried out only when the rubber are sufficiently cool below 60 degrees of Celsius. Testing. There are 5 types of testing in baling rubber. First, determination of dirt. Second, determination of volatile matter. 3, determination of nitrogen. 4, plastic retention index. 4, money viscosity. Packing. Bales which are wrapped in package into the crates. Allow the bales to settle down first before they are strapped into packaging. Lastly, it is ready for shipping. Conclusion: rubber is the one of the cheapest and easiest available raw material for the industrialists. The present work aims of characteristics of the block copolymer with a view of study sophisticatedly the effect of natural rubber block within their property.